just waiting for God to deliver. Someone who can press the button on the PowerPoint slides. Do we have someone whose heart is moving? Oh! Hallelujah, everybody! Hi, I'm Carl, and I don't know how things go, so we're just gonna go. Because every battery that I have was running on fumes. I was spiritually low. I was physically low. I am physically low. But I knew when I got here, I would be better. I would be better for the week we have camp, and I would be better in the weeks after camp. I knew that. And I was right. I was right because this is my recharging station. You talk about recharging stations for electric cars and for electric vehicles. This is my charging station. I know that the week I spend here is going to be powerful enough to get me through the rest of the year and into the following year. I know that. I know that because I was given that assurance by my Jesus. Every once in a while, he talks to me very clearly about who I am and who we are. And I knew that no matter how tired I was or how de-energized I felt, the presence of my family here at Choir Camp would lift me. And I pray that in some part, at some point, in some way, you get that from Choir Camp. I really do. A child of the Most High God, and I'm here. And I'm sucking it in. I'm taking it in. And I will be better when I leave this place than I was when I got to this place. You're done here. You're done with me. Because I am a child of the Most High God.
Amen.
I am not a minor anything. People say, it's very easy for us to say, I'm just. I beg to differ. You are not just. You are. You are big news. You are a big thing.
Yeah. I was telling you something. Here, you want this?
So let's talk about our waterfront. We have a beautiful waterfront here, and we have extra water this year, so that means extra fun in the water. So we have some rules that go along with that. So we're going to start with our swim test. So we have 3 different areas in our swim area. So we have our deep end, we have our intermediate end area, and our shallow end. Okay? So you do have to pass a swim test to go in the intermediate or the deep end. So that swim test is going to be 2 lanes or 1 lap going sideways in our deep end with our lifeguards watching. And then following that, if you want to go in the deep, you have to pass a treading water test, which is 2 minutes of treading water. If you want to go into the intermediate zone, all all you have to do is just a swim test. Okay, you don't have to do the treading water. We have a nice raft in our swim area. You are allowed to dive off of that raft. You are not allowed to do flips or go off backwards, but you can dive off and you can jump off, do some cool cannonballs. You can even do some twists. I guess that's okay. On our trampoline, we also have some rules with that. Those rules are, you're allowed to jump, but there's only 4 people allowed at a time, and you're going to be out there for 10 minutes. So as soon as you start heading out, that's when your clock starts. So if you get out there and we're like, time to come in, well, you just dilly-dally too long and you just get out to the trampoline time.
Who needs to swim test? Today's the day that we're doing that. So everyone really should be going down at waterfront time to the waterfront, because tonight is waterfront night and we're out there swimming. So,
And you do not have to take the swim test if you don't want to.
you don't have to take the swim test if you don't want to. So if you're like me, you're like, I'm just going to hang in the shallow end. You don't have to take it. Some of you have been asking me about the store. The store will be open every day at dinner. And finally, we are not going to start Camper Council today. We will start Camper Council tomorrow. So beginning tomorrow, right after lunch, I will dismiss Camper Council first. And we will gather right downstairs at the bottom of the stairs to discuss any issues that you guys observe going on at camp, and anything that needs to be fixed, and also some things to help you become better leaders. So we're going to start that tomorrow. We need 1 representative from each cabin to be willing to do that. So you have today to figure that out.
Clap, clap, tap, tap, move the top, pick it up and don't mess up. Clap, clap, tap, 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 move the top, pick it up and don't mess up.
Did you know that back when dinosaurs existed, volcanoes erupted on the moon?
And I happen to know that this could have been done earlier, but it was saved for the right moment. Sometimes you just need the right moment. So the very first time this year, I would like to celebrate that we have a bingo. And Marcus has a bingo.
I've noticed that this year the Monkey Boys are in fact the Pirate Monkey Boys. You may have seen our Jolly Roger flying outside our cabin and our plank with a monkey walking the plank. So in light of that, I'd like everybody except the Monkey Boys to stand up. And on this farm are pirates.
But today couldn't have resulted in bribery because you didn't even know when it happened. Sarah, for the first time, Mary M., who is accompanying the Believers Choir, is also doing, with Sarah, the clean cabin and other cabins.
Very nice to say that we should establish a point system, and we are going to be random about when we do it. Today, our Not Clean Cabin Award goes to, which is, this is what it is, the garbage and other things, including articles of clothing, on the floor at Carr. The Clean Cabin Award, which is the beautiful golden dustpan. Then today goes to Manning.
How did that happen when you throw everything on the floor?
Lily stuff was in a pile in the corner.
Great news that if you are the not cleanest cabin, the fly swatter can actually come in handy this year. If your car cabin, you got flopped last night, and today you get the not so cleanest cabin. It's a very special year for the residents of Carr. We are going to be moving into free expression in just a minute. Hi, welcome to Free Expression. We are going to start Free Expression with a comedy act.
Hello, everybody. Hi. I'm here to do comedy. Raise your hand if you did go swimming today. Oh, that's cool, I guess. Missed out on 10 minutes of fun.
We talked about special hidden talents earlier today at one of our meals. And Luke has one to share with us. But before Luke does, I'm sharing mine with you. Ready? Ready for this? Brace yourselves. BYXWBUTSRQBONNLKJIHGFEDCBA. I just sang my ZYXs, but that's not what you expected.
Participation here. No, it's everybody. So keep your hands up and do "Live Long and Prosper" before me. Live long and prosper. It's that Spock thing on Star Trek. So if you can do "Live Long and Prosper," great job. Now do, it's almost like Jesus, but it's with your two fingers together on the top and just keeping your fingers spread out like this. This is not hard, and the "Live Long and Prosper" is not hard, but switching between them is sometimes difficult. Alright, but then that's not just the hardest one, because then you have your other hand doing "Live Long and Prosper" and then switching to Jesus. And then you have to do both hands at the same time. So if you have mastered all of the above, and you can do the "Live Long and Prosper" switch with both your hands, then you have to do one of them on one hand and the other on the other hand and switch at the same time.
7:59. Waterfront night will begin at 7:30 because that's when our lifeguard staff will be down there. So, if you get down there before 7:30 with your counselors, please make absolutely certain that you do not enter the water until our lifeguard staff is down there. Okay? Also, we will be celebrating extra tonight because we will also be having s'mores down at Waterfront.
I'm going swimming, 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 swimming. I'm going swimming, 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 swimming. I like going swimming at the beach inside the ocean. I like how the water moves around me in the motion, surrounds me in the liquid. Get out then I'm dripping. Always dry my feet off so you never catch me slipping. I like going swimming when I'm in the swimming pool. Jumping off the deep end, but I'm looking really cool. Swimming is the coolest, I do it every summer. If I can't go swimming, to me that is a bummer.
Stand up and we'll continue singing.
All right, let's try something. From the back, on this side, halfway forward, with Matt, sing this with me. I'm gonna sing, sing, sing. I'm gonna shout, shout, shout. I'm gonna sing, I'm gonna shout and praise the Lord. And when those gates are open wide, I'm gonna stand by Jesus' side. I'm gonna sing, I'm gonna shout and praise the Lord. Can you sing that? Just keep it going. And then I'm going to teach you guys a different part. The saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, Lord, I want to be in that number. When the saints go marching in. Again. Swing low, sweet chariot. Running for to carry me home. In that very first rehearsal today, when all Sarah wanted to do was to get through every piece that was in the packet and preview it with you, there was a moment when the sound of that choir, even though you were struggling with the notes and wondering about the words, there was a moment when the sound just sent shivers up my spine because it was so beautiful. Terry Mom has selected a Bible passage, an obscure Bible passage for today. I had to look up how to pronounce the proper name. Then Moses said to the Israelites, "See, the Lord has called by name Bezalel, son of Uri, son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah. He has filled him with divine spirit, with skill intelligence, and knowledge in every kind of craft, to devise artistic designs, to work in gold, silver, and bronze, in cutting stones for setting, and in carving wood, in every kind of craft. Now, the only thing that passage lacks is a reference to singing, because I want you to know that when it came time to create out of chaos a proper place for God to reside with the people of Israel, he called an artist. I came across this. I want to share this with you. This is an article from Time magazine. Singing changes your brain. Did you know that? It's true. When you sing, musical vibrations move through you, altering your physical and emotional landscape. Group singing, for those who have done it, is the most exhilarating and transformative of all. It takes something incredibly intimate, a sound that begins inside you, shares it with a room full of people, and it comes back as something even more thrilling: harmony. There was that moment in that very first rehearsal when you were working at wondering whether you could sing the notes right, but that thrilling moment was there, folks. There is nothing you can give to the world that is more important than that. Then it came time for Matt to lead us. And he picked up a piece, and the text sent shivers up my spine. Oh, lift your voice and sing, rejoice. Oh, sing with all your heart and all your voice. Let there be peace. Let there be justice. Let there be hope in every heart upon the earth. Started the day with Cecil talking to you about how difficult his past year plus, last 3 years have been. Felt a close bond with Cecil in that moment, and we had a brief conversation outside about our common experience of walking with someone we love through an illness, knowing that as much as you love them, as much as you care for them, nothing that you do will change the outcome. You know where it's headed, and there's nothing you can do about it. We talked about where that leaves us. People used to say to me, aren't you lonely? I'm not lonely. I wasn't lonely. I felt empty. That's how I felt. The purpose of telling this part of the story of my past experience is not to engender or elicit your sympathy. I have a happy life. I have beautiful kids and grandkids. I have a new relationship that is loving and joyful, and that's a wonderful thing. Okay? But shortly after Terry died, I didn't know which end was up. I didn't know what to do. I went back to my church in Port Huron, and I knew that I didn't have what it took to lead them properly as a pastor. They were concerned about things, and I didn't care about those things anymore at all. Why do I care about balancing the budget or whether we're going to pay our apportionments or not when my spouse of 38 years has just died? So I retired from pastoral ministry, and I took the job here at Lake Louise as the executive director. It was a great interim period for me, a wonderful time, because I love this place, and our family's connections here are deep and long-lasting, and it was a healing experience. But along with it came an invitation to sing with the Little Travers Choral Society out of Petoskey. And for the first month of rehearsals, we were working on Alfred Burke carols. For the first month of rehearsals, I couldn't make it through a single song. I couldn't make it through a single song. I just cried. Well, my kids tell you that's no big deal. He cries all the time. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I just today in that rehearsal, when that sound came, it brought tears to my eyes, and those are tears of joy. It's just oh. But I got an invitation to come and sing with some people I didn't know, yet people who thought that singing had a healing effect on your heart, and so it did. So it did. And they said, well, if you like that, Dave, why don't you come and sing with us as well with the Great Lakes Chamber Orchestra, because we're doing Messiah at Christmas time, and you can sing in Messiah. So I did that as well. And I sang my heart out. I sang my heart whole again. And a year later, they said, come and be our director. And I had 2 years, 2 seasons, 4 concerts of the most wonderful choral conducting experience that only compares with 40 years of conducting choir camp. Singing matters. It heals your soul. And if you can take a hurting person and invite them to sing, doesn't mean be an opera star. It means come with me and make music. Take that activity that is deep inside you and let it out together. And when we listen to one another and we are responsive to one another, we can create a moment that will lift the world to a better place. I believe that with all my heart. All my heart. Lift your voice and sing. Rejoice. Sing with all your heart, with all your voice. Let there be peace. Let there be justice. Let there be hope in every heart upon the earth. Whenever you take this many people from this many different homes and different communities, different ages, and you put them all in one place together, let me tell you that within the confines of this room, there is every single human experience, positive or negative, that you might imagine. I don't know very many of you very well, but I can bet you that life is easy for some of you, and life is bitterly difficult and hard for others of you. I know that there are those among us who find acceptance from others an easy thing in their life. And I also know that there are others among us as equally loved by God, let me reassure you, but who have known anger and resentment and rejection from other people, or told that they don't belong, or that there's not a place for them. This place, this act of singing, whether you consider yourself a vocalist or not, the act of coming together with a disciplined choral technician, training you to take what God has given you and multiply it with the voice of others till something beautiful emerges, that act cuts across all of the good and the bad, the acceptance and the rejection that the world can meter out. And that's why this week matters. It matters. So last fall, I was back up here and living here. So Millie Jenkin, my friend from across the lake, said, "You're going to sing with us again?" And I said, "Absolutely." So every Tuesday night, Millie came over and we piled in her car together, or in my car, and we drove to rehearsal, and we just forgot about all of the cares of the world, and we focused on 60 people making beautiful music together. And in the course of that, they were celebrating their 30th anniversary season, so they invited some people to stand up and give a short talk about what participation in the Little Traverse Choral Society has meant to them. And they invited me. I was thrilled to be invited to say that, because I got to say thank you to this group of people who didn't know me at all when I first came there, but who understood that when I arrived at that first rehearsal, I was a mess. And I suggested to them that in all of the chaos and the anger and the hatred that's getting plastered all over the airwaves out there, all the people who are willing to tell you who to hate and who to be afraid of and who you ought to resent, that all of that would change if all of those political leaders were forced to get in a room and sit through rehearsals and make music together. That's how important what you're going through is. So whether you think you've got a voice or not, and Lord knows at choir camp we take everybody, no auditions. And we invite you to participate. And in a week's time, 9 rehearsals, create something you never imagined possible, something beautiful. It has happened every single year for 40 plus, going on 50 years with various leadership in place. So thank you to all of the musicians who give of their talents here, but what they really care about, they care about the music, they want you to sing beautifully, care about your heart as well. It's a privilege to lead you. Do not discount how important what you're doing here is, and invite others to share in the same experience. You might not ever make a dime as a musician, but it will heal and enrich your heart for the rest of your life. And when Moses was called by God to build a temple and make a proper place for God to reside, he didn't call an engineer. He called an artist, whose name I had to look up in order to pronounce.